Welcome to Instant Discussions. Today's episode, we're talking about...
I'm Tony.
I'm John.
I'm Steffan.
All right. We got that out of the way. We're talking about the 2009 movie World's Greatest Dad, directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
And written by, right?
You're wearing the same shirt. Sorry.
and written by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yes.
Starring Robin Williams. And so this is a movie about a father who's got a horrible son.
Well...
Yes, he has a horrible son.
He's just different.
All right, we'll get into that too and talking about it. This is spoilers for everything that we're going to talk about because we're discussing this after you've seen the movie.
Boys like
so you haven't
masturbation.
seen it yet. So
it was kind of meta because I was choking myself masturbating to him choking himself masturbating. So I was like, whoa! Then he dies, and it's like, who am I?
Dude, you've got the feels.
So it's kind of a movie about dealing with death and especially the death of a child and also the death of someone who you don't really think that you'd miss as much.
I kind of actually liked that aspect that the father kind of just it's just such a shitty kid or whatever,
yes.
Right? And he has to
Yeah, it could have been called World's Worst Kid. Like if he was fucking horrible.
Yeah, and if they had like a great kid dying, then it's just this horrible tragedy and all of that. But
you hate him.
You hate him. They build it up, and the first time you kind of start out seeing him almost dead, he
had passed out
He passed out, so they've got that set up there, but. He's just enjoying himself.
I'm just thinking, we go real quick to my favorite. My favorite thing is he died jerking off to his girlfriend.
To his father's girlfriend.
For his dad taking pussy shots while they're in that realization and he died jerking off. Oh shit, my girlfriend while we were eating dinner. That is so...
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. Lots of horribleness to that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go with when did you first come across this movie? And
I actually watched it a couple years ago when that other movie came out, the God Loves America.
God Loves America.
Yeah,
I talked about.
I didn't realize that Bobcat was a writer and director.
Yeah,
he has a few good movies.
He started out a stand-up comic in the '80s in the Police Academy movies. Shows up in other films. And he's made a few films throughout his time, and they're always very interesting type movies. He doesn't do kind of the standard story, and it's also they're very different than just thinking of the idea of the comic that he is. They're very thoughtful movies.
They're very deep and they really make you think.
Yeah.
And he does a cameo, right?
Yeah, he's got his cameo, and here's the limo driver for the Oprah-esque show.
Better than Quentin Tarantino's cameos.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's done a few things. This
is all acting.
That's all his filmography, not just his directing. So if you look at film directing, Sleeping Dogs Lie, World's Greatest Dad, God Bless America, and then Willow Creek is his new one.
Hey, we watched one of those.
We have talked. This will now be half of all of his directing movies that we've talked about. I first saw this movie. I saw this one before God Bless America, and I'd seen it probably pretty soon after it came out. I think I might have even gotten the DVD from Netflix for it, but. I don't know how I got told about it, but someone had turned me on to this film, and it was so interesting, especially watching the more dramatic films of Robin Williams, where I like him.
Those are the only ones I like.
They're generally better. You can sometimes have fun with the comedy ones. It's hit and miss a lot more often. The dramatic ones, you get a lot more hits with it, and the darker comedies are. That kind of area of it. So this was your first time watching it?
Yes.
So what was your first impression of it, going into this fresh and starting off with a guy?
It definitely wasn't what I expected.
Oh, so what were you expecting
out of
with
the
it?
film? I don't know. I mean, it's Robin Williams for one, and so it wasn't very Robin Williams-y at all.
You're saying the world's greatest dad. He's got this mug. You're thinking of RV or another.
Yeah.
One of those Robin Williams comedies, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I was like thinking that maybe it was like not really. He's not really the world's greatest dad. He's just so full of himself that he thinks he's the world's greatest dad. And the comedy ensues.
You get some of that from there. That definitely goes in with it in the title there, but
I'll still appreciate the irony of the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fucking hate you, Dad.
he's such a terrible kid.
I love his picture too, all around. It's
I'm
the worst
surprised he
picture.
has the one friend, because that kid Andrew is so nice.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe he's his friend.
Well, I think he's just
No,
friends. He goes to watch porn at his
I
place.
can
and
believe
play
it. Like
games.
it's literally the only person. It's and that's what I mean with the irony in the title. Like at least or at least how the title goes deeper into the film is like the reason that this kid's so shitty is because the dad is way too nice.
Yeah,
And, like,
the dad's
probably
too nice,
just
so she
gives
leaning
in,
on
you know
him.
what I mean?
They've got the issues with the divorce from the kid's mother, and she's got her own set of problems too.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of like a continuation of the Dead Poet Society character for Robin Williams. Just go on teaching poetry, but now poetry's not working as well, so he's just on the bottom of the barrel there.
Yeah.
Not selling good well as a writer. So he takes this after the son dies, and he like the first thing he does to clean up the crime scene, because he doesn't want his son to be remembered in that way. He just can't have that happen, and so it wasn't anything malicious in what he did with that, and he wrote the note to just kind of send him off a little better, put him in a better light.
Yeah.
And that all starts.
It was very innocent.
Yeah, it was very innocent when it began, and it all starts getting taken away from him there and going crazy when the note gets released.
Yeah, someone hacks it or whatever.
Yeah, there's freedom of information stuff. The students get a hold of the note, they read it, and them being high school students and emotional, that they read into it whatever they want to read into it as like good poetry. Because his father's a pretty decent writer.
Although that felt a little pushed for me, but
Well,
yes.
I don't know. I can see it happening with some, enough students getting into it. And it depends where they're at in their life and whatever. But so that getting released, and then releasing the more of the writings, and that gets made into this giant book, and he's using the death of his son for this positive stuff. But every time he starts to feel remorse for it and feel bad for it, there's someone that comes up to him and says, because of this writing, because of your son, I either I
came out of the
closet,
closet,
decided not to kill myself. There's all this positivity that's coming from it.
Yeah.
So you get that harsh conflict there. Like, do I tell the truth about this, even though it's doing good? Am I just exploiting? Is he just exploiting his son there? But he's got good motives for it. There's a little bit of selfishness in it because he wants to be.
I think more than a
successful
little
writer.
bit.
Yeah.
Once he starts to get that attention from everybody, he was really enjoying it.
Yeah, he starts to turn into I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
He's really enjoying it. Yeah.
Tell he
Oh,
really
what was it
wanted
with
to
that
do
horrible
too.
crying he was doing?
No, it was laughing.
But it was like crying, laughing.
Because he's
On
trying
the
to
show?
cry.
He's trying to cry, but he's also laughing because he's realizing the ridiculousness of it, and he's almost getting to that point where he wants to come clean with it. But he's turning the laughter into crying, and that's why that was.
It looked horrible though.
Well, yeah, it looked horrible. But I got it more of it was him laughing from that. So what is your favorite part about the movie?
When he dies with the jerking off to
Yeah.
his dad's mom. I mean his dad's girlfriend.
Yeah.
How much more fucked up can you get?
I really loved the montage that they did of all the different students reading the note.
Oh,
and,
yeah. He was
Ghost Son in the background.
He was like a jock, and then he was like a goth, and it's like,
Yeah.
you weren't any of that. You were a fucking loser.
As everyone starts just reading and all this stuff and writing their own story around it and pretending like they knew him. But he was really just that.
Oh, and then I looked up
that no one cared about and was retaliated on everyone else, just yelling at everyone.
that CD he gave out.
Yeah.
After I looked up the singer.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's that guy's a horrible songs. Like it's just shitty music. Like what the fuck?
They got him to appear in the movie.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, just he hated all music, and
he's like, I hate music. I hate movies. Are stupid. I want to fucking be
so terrible. The kid was horrible,
and they're all wearing his shirt with his little
stupid. He likes some movies.
Oh yeah, like there's shit involved.
He didn't call the movie. Oh, you wouldn't get it, man.
Yeah,
it's in Europe.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty great.
I was laughing the entire way through. No matter, even though it was as fucked up as it got, I was laughing the whole way through. I'm surprised it only made.
Well,
we can talk about that.
We'll
Yeah.
Okay.
Your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part, it's kind of like parts, but it's the same idea. Was like all those times that, like it was getting brought up around him.
Yeah.
And like I like felt the tension because I'm like I kept feeling like, is this gonna be the time he says it?
Yep.
Oh no, it's not gonna be okay. He's just gonna deal with it more. And
is he gonna get found out? And the other teacher who was looking up the autopsy report.
Oh yeah.
And then the kid is just like,
yeah, the kid is like, shut up, shut up.
And so
he's the only other person that really knew his son.
Yeah.
So the only person that could really say that it's bullshit.
Yeah. So I really liked the tension. Really.
Yeah.
Good.
It was
really well done.
That was really good tension. I can't remember what I was going to say with that. Oh, the principal of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Since he was from Dexter as one of the like higher up police detective guys, Lundy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that connection in there for me, I kept only seeing him as a murder investigator. And in that thing, like, he's gonna find him out. He's gonna investigate, because that's what he would do on the other show.
Yeah.
So he's got that look to me, as if he's gonna investigate it, but he wasn't doing that at all. The film was budget of $10 million. It made $295,000. I think a lot of people. I mean, all right. First of all, let's go with the release of the movie, because I don't think it can't have gotten much of a release at all.
Like, I didn't really hear too much about
it. Was
it
it was released on video on demand on July 24th. Had a limited theatrical release August 21st, 2009. I think just like the Bobcat's other movies, or the last three, I can say at least. I don't think it got much of a theatrical release. I think it was just the last movie, God Bless America. They showed at Quentin Tarantino's theater, and a handful of others. They just did a little tour of it, and Bobcat was there doing a Q&A with each one. So they did not put it into multiplexes. It didn't really get out there. So I think he makes these for the
Netflix.
home video stuff. Well, just whatever video on demand stuff. So the box office. That's strictly box office.
Yeah.
That's not counting any of the video on demand stuff, so we don't really know how much it got from that.
There should be a website with that.
Yeah, it might be out there somewhere, and I could look it up, but I don't know. Look that up. So it does hold a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes of 89%.
Pretty good.
So people did like it, although I can see a lot of people turning it off in the beginning of it before the sun dies.
Yeah.
It's just his horribleness, and they just don't want to hear that. It's just so bad.
I'd hot call her so bad.
So let's go to worst. The things you didn't like about the movie.
I think the only thing I didn't like was I thought the ending could have been a little bit better. His speech and that, just everything that happened at the end. I mean, I still enjoyed it, and all the way through, and I enjoyed the ending. But I thought it could have been a little bit better.
I think it was a nice, subtle ending of all the different.
Yeah, it was very subtle.
Because he turns down the fame or the success by coming clean with it, but he says Andrew says to keep writing, and he kind of establishes a strong relationship with Andrew, with the neighbor, and then still puts the picture back up, having the memory of his son. So he's just kind of going about a basic life. It's an anticlimactic ending, but in a nice way. It's not like bad anticlimactic.
But he's probably happier with his kid dead.
Yes.
Like, much happier.
He's probably goes through grief a lot with it still, but I think he's going to be overall
happy eating brownies.
Yes.
And he'd probably end up fucking the old chick, like getting high a few times.
don't think so.
Like, not a lot, but just like that few times.
But I don't know. Don't know.
In front of the friend.
Definitely didn't go on with that teacher. Yeah, she went right over to Mike.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Like that's done with.
He
Yeah.
destroyed her. Let's be honest.
I would say, let's see. I don't know least favorite part of the movie. I kind of liked a lot of it.
Yeah, it was hard to
I
find
didn't like the
something
stupid
bad.
son, but it was good. It was good.
That was good. That he
It's
was
what it needed.
Such
You
a
needed
douche.
She's so terrible. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could pick anything else out besides that. How about you?
For me, this is probably not. Well, it might be surprising. I don't know. My worst part is actually the comedy didn't hit so hard with me. Dun, dun. And this happens quite a bit with movies like this, actually. And it's one of the main reasons I'm usually not so drawn to Wes Anderson films, is because with the subject matter as to what it is, or like family problems and like weird like struggles and shit
Yeah.
like that, for whatever reason, I'm usually not laughing about it.
I didn't really think of this as too much of a comedy. I mean, it's a...
But he was
I
laughing
did.
the
I
whole
fucking
time
laughed the entire
through.
time.
Okay, but that's Tony.
Is it considered a dark
It's a
comedy?
black comedy, is what they say. I call it.
Black
I
comedy.
call it a dark comedy. There's
Some
only
black
one.
people.
There's one black guy in it. I would say it's a dark comedy.
He wasn't even that big of a comedic relief.
He had some funny stuff here or there, but yeah, I would say this is much more. It's a dark comedy in the sense that it's a lighthearted look at a very dark subject. It's not treating it in the way that, like you would say, if it was a kid that was really great and they loved him and he died this tragic
Oh
death
yeah.
and they're
If he was
crying
an
over
honor
him,
student,
you know,
it'd be
just-
totally different.
yeah, that would just be dark. But this is like, this is that situation of this kid's a piece of shit and I like him, and you know they're struggling the relationship beginning and the awkward situations it gets into and that tension, and it's the only laugh there is that laugh of the release of tension, or that tension is so tight there.
Oh, well, that doesn't happen for me.
I didn't laugh at this one.
But-
I'm gonna say.
I don't know, when he
But-
said that, like, that he laughed at the whole thing, I don't know, it made me realize that, yeah, this is kind of one of those, and I could see it, like, I kind of was, like, reviewing back in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see why people would laugh at that and why it was comedic.
Like,
Yeah.
remember when he
You know what I
goes
mean?
to the mall? I don't want the computer. I just want to go to the mall with you. It's not even a big screen.
It's gonna be the biggest one. That's pretty. You can't buy.
See?
it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I wouldn't
But it's not like you got him to buy that for you. However he says this, like that was he was talking to Andrew about getting his.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole
He's like,
time.
see, I told you.
I'm gonna go home and use it.
Yeah.
Well, the other, I'm gonna go back here with one of my
He's gonna get screen dirty.
one of the things I really loved about this movie is in that note. He put in the note that at the end that Dad, don't blame yourself for this.
Oh, yeah.
And I love you. And he puts that in there because it's all he wanted to hear from his son.
Yeah.
And
That's what he wrote. What he wanted to hear. at
but
the
he could
very
never
end.
hear it, so he could at least put it in his own words to hear that. And he said, that's the counselor, like, what if you didn't actually like me? And I was like, what are you talking about? It says right in the note.
I would love to see what his son would have actually wrote as a suicide note. Fuck you, burn in hell, Dad. This is your fault.
Probably.
It wasn't even the biggest one. And I don't know. I don't think the kid cares enough to kill himself. He wouldn't. He's not in that thing. I think this is the only way that he could have killed himself is accidentally, because he's got such a simple tracked mind on that. He's really not complex at all, and should have been put in the remedial classes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he was not bright at all. So it was a shame that he's. Think of how many years the father's gone with that. I don't know how many years this kid was that terrible, but I don't know. That's just the pain of that. So much pain in the father's life here.
Yeah.
First with dealing with the son, and then dealing with the grief of the son being dead, and then dealing with the fact that he, wrote all that stuff and was found out to be a liar and ruined his chances of that deal, the book deal and everything.
With Artie.
And then ruined the girl he was with. Just
Wasn't that Artie at
everything.
the end from Pete and Pete?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
never mind.
Maybe. Could be. So,
So yeah. So
Yeah.
stars.
I mean, we could stars if we want to.
Let's just skip it this episode.
Okay, skip it. We skipped it on some episode, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll start off with this one. I'm sticking with my original rating from when I first saw this at 4 stars. I really like this one. It's a good film. Also produced by Richard Kelly.
What the fuck is that?
Donnie Darko, director.
Oh,
So
so
it
I
has
said
a little-
Darko.
Yeah, I was gonna
logo
say it says
thing?
Darko Entertainment.
Yeah,
so-
Darko Entertainment.
I
The little
told
bunny
you.
started when the first one in there. So another kind of like dark,
Yeah.
You're right.
introspective film.
You did tell me.
You did tell him. You totally did.
I should have listened.
Stars?
I actually gave it a 5.
5.
Wow.
I wanted to go 4.5, but then I did the 5 because I'd love to see a movie similar to this.
I
would
could
love
easily-
to see another movie
I could
like
easily
this.
give this one a 5. I don't know. It's I'm just sticking with what I had first.
And there's
given
nothing
that,
else
but
like
it's-
it. Like there really is nothing
It's such a.
out of all the
I think
genres.
it's
this is
also.
very specific.
I also would put this above God Bless America. I think it's a little more complete of a film there, and the message isn't so blatant in it. It's more weaved into a story. So I think I like that compared to Bobcat's other film there.
Yeah.
How about you?
I already know what he's gonna say.
Do you? What am I gonna say, Tony?
You're gonna say 2.5, but a 3.
No, actually, it would be 3.5, but 3.
Okay.
That's what I meant, but at the 3 I ended on.
You got the final score right. Well, that's good.
I mean, I liked it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't
It didn't
push
hit you as hard
that-
as it could have there.
Yeah, as much as it could have.
Yeah.
And I did like a lot of like the little intricacies and cool things about it, though.
So would you say, on your scale of Rob Williams movies, this on the better end of Rob Williams films, in the middle, towards the bottom, in the breadth of all of his career there?
Jeez, what a question. You?
Now you did.
Oh, this is one of the best. I really don't like the majority of his movies. This
Yeah.
is like one of the best ones.
You did get to see him completely naked in this, at the end there. when he
Oh
jumped
yeah,
on
you
the
saw
board,
his penis.
which I forgot about that was in this movie.
You saw his cock.
As he's stripping down and it shows everything else and then he dives and
In the water, you see his cock.
yeah. So
It's kind of weird.
something
too.
nobody asked for.
Cock.
There.
Well, his cock is kind of weird.
He is a weird guy entirely.
Yeah.
It's not on the top list of.
He has like a
what
dwarf
anyone
cock. I
wants
don't know
to
if you've
see.
seen dwarf cocks, but he has a dwarf cock.
Yeah.
But it's not dwarfed. It's a nice sized cock, but it looks like never mind.
No, I definitely say this is one of my favorite of his films. It's
Yeah.
kind of the similar to the Jim Carrey thing, where the dramatic ones are generally I like them better.
yeah, like
although
The
Jim
Truman
Carrey,
Show,
Jim Carrey
Eternal
has
Sunshine.
some more. I don't know. His is a little odd. His gets odd there, but I think Robin Williams can. I think Robin Williams can probably do a better dramatic than Jim Carrey. Definitely with.
Well, Jim Carrey kind of jumps into like silliness.
He's,
every
yeah,
once in
he
a while.
always has a bit of silliness
Just
in
like
all
a-
of his dramatic films, but Robin Williams really didn't break into that kind of character at all
No.
in here. He was just
No.
pure.
He
straight
played a
with it.
serious character trying to be silly. Like that's the closest it got.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to be funny at points, but it was really good where it wasn't Robin Williams funny.
Right.
When he
No,
was
no,
doing
so-
it.
yeah,
he was
no.
he was really into the character.
No, yeah, definitely he did a really good job in this.
I think it was great, and I think because him and Bobcat had been friends for so long that they get a good he can get a good performance out of him,
Mhm.
especially with that. All right, so next week.
Next week, we are going to be watching The Fisher King.
Oh, the Fisher King.
All right.
Fisher
Okay.
King.
Have
More
you-
Robin Williams.
Have you seen this one before?
No,
I have.
never in my life.
I haven't seen it either.
Really?
Keep picking blind.
Yeah.
You picked blind on that?
Yeah, I
It's
picked blind on it.
It's risky to pick blind.
I
sir.
know.
You're going through a minefield on Netflix. I know I like to say that Netflix has a lot of great stuff out there.
My next
But when you
pick,
just random through Netflix there,
my next pick,
oh,
2 or 3 weeks from now, or whatever, is gonna be blind.
you're just gonna go on the pick.
That's the
top
name
pick.
of the movie?
You should do top picks for Steffan. You slide it across, although you know I can do that. And then this one.
Well, the problem with that though is that like a lot
All
of
right,
them will be
so
like,
My Little
oh,
Pony, Friendship is Magic. Let's go with this.
Yeah?
Rainbow Dash Attack.
All right, so Fisher King next
Fisher
week. Thanks for watching this week. Comment, rate, review, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.